Today's victim will be this tank. The reason that I'm showing this video is because it's a bit different from what I usually do, but I think it's a very interesting video nevertheless. I'm back at my local fish store. I've actually done a video here before where we also aquascape one of their tanks. We create a bit more of a complex aquascape, but this time it's a very simple layout, it's a very simple scape, and it is gonna be for this Geophagus tank. I offered to aquascape this tank mostly because it's some beautiful fish and I feel like they need a beautiful place to be. Keep in mind though that this is at a fish store, so there were a few sort of things that I had in mind that I wanted to fulfill while doing this. One, it should be a display tank, yes, but it should still be a tank where it's easy for the owner to catch the fish. Like when I first set my foot in this aquarium store, you could quickly see that the owner of this store is also caring for his fish a lot. So instead of having 500 10-gallon tanks where you display 500 different fish, then he has a lot of big tanks. And that of course doesn't allow him to have as many different fish, but it also allows the fish that are there to display beautiful colors and show that they thrive. And he also spends a lot of time actually making his tanks look good. Now, in order to help him with this, especially since he just moved to a bigger place, then I've offered my help with these tanks and just to rearrange them a bit to make them look a bit better than what they do right now. As you can see, he just kind of put the stones down there because he just moved these aquariums, so in all fairness, he didn't really have the time to do so. I wanted to make this tank look good and I wanted to make it easy to handle because previously when he aquascaped some of his tanks, the result of it is also that it's super hard for him to actually catch the fish. Like he told me a story of once where he had a customer who just had to buy the lock that or the piece of driftwood that he had in one of his tanks, and he actually ended up, not intentionally, but also giving that customer 6 L plecos for free because he thought they were all gone. But you know, when you sell a massive piece of driftwood like that was a central piece of an aquascape, well, then you might just end up being unlucky and you can't really catch those fish and see if they're even there. So yeah, he ended up giving away 6 L plecos for free because he didn't know that they were all in there, and he had like 30 plecos in the tank and you would rarely see them because it was a well-scaped tank. So the challenge for me here, and it was also just mostly a personal challenge for me, was just to create a tank where it's still easy for the owner to actually catch the fish, but you still get more display than just some rocks at the bottom of the tank and just a randomly laid out piece of driftwood. And I think it's very interesting to see when you make these kind of just, I'm not even sure I want to call it an aquascape, but just when you make these decorated aquariums, these decorated tanks, you just get to see such a different behavior from the fish. You can see that from the footage once we get to the end, and especially the ending footage where I just made a few shots of the tank with the fish swimming around. Literally the second I removed my hands from the tank and I stopped moving stuff around, the fish was all over the rocks and the driftwood. They were swimming through all of the nooks and crannies that they could find to try to explore the new layout of the tank. And I just, at least in my opinion, I think it's so much more healthy for the fish that they actually get to explore the tank that they live in. I think it creates a more vibrant environment for them. I think they feel safer. And as a result of this, you end up with fish that just display their color in a much more natural way. And I think you have happier fish. So enjoy the video. I'm gonna stop talking now and you can just enjoy the music and watch the video for the rest of this. Thank you so much for watching though. And hey, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave it a subscribe down below because it helps me out a bunch to grow my channel so that we can make even more amazing fish videos.